been born Sandra Yawn, but Bravoholics know her best as Captain Sandy on the hit series Below Deck Mediterranean, which is back. Oh, I'm so excited for its 10th season. New episodes air Monday at 8 p.m. on Bravo and stream the next day on Peacock. From her leadership style to managing crew personalities from all walks of life, the Florida native truly knows what it means to be the calm before the storm. Oh, that's right, and during the storm. It is not a secret that I am a huge fan of everything Below Deck, and I'm so excited. This is not the first time for me that the captain has not taken a tender in for a chat. Captain Sandy, always happy to see you.
You too. Thanks for having me. Wow,
Yeah,
that's a nice intro.
isn't it? And I'm gonna just right now
Yeah.
love the new hair.
Well,
Love
thank you.
the new
That's
hair.
Leah's touch. Leah's
Well,
doing it.
she it's on point.
Spice me up.
On
Thank you.
point. Okay, so we're gonna get to Below Deck in just a minute, but first, congratulations are in order. You just celebrated your 1-year anniversary with Leah.
It was amazing, and every day I get to spend with her is incredible.
That is just I'm so happy for you guys, and I got remarried this
We have
last
fun.
year. Now, is Leah your first wife?
Yes, ever. First
Oh,
love. I never
oh,
had love before her. No
okay,
one existed.
got it. But you are not Leah's first foray into marriage.
No, not Leah's.
Right.
But mine.
Okay,
Yes.
well, because I'm gonna have to speak to her. Actually, put her on for a sec.
Okay, come over here, Leah Ray.
Where is she? Come on.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. Hi. Okay.
Hello.
Everyone, I got remarried earlier this year. So technically, I'm a second wife because Steve was married before. So everyone keeps asking me what it's like to suddenly be a second wife. Can you give me any advice? Like, I know I've learned in relationships, but how are you finding it different being a second wife rather than a first wife?
Well, she's a woman, and the first one was a man.
Okay, well, thank
So,
you for pointing out
night
the
and day.
obvious.
So
So
completely opposite. And she has made me be more myself in this marriage. I'm more myself in this marriage. The first marriage, I was 27. We were married 20 years, and he was much older, 20 years older. So now I'm older and wiser and happier now.
Well,
and
that
we
is
play more. Don't you think
well,
you say you play more?
I play more, just everything, the passion, the laughter, everything's different.
what I have found for myself is from the beginning, I was unapologetically me.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just more myself now. I'm more comfortable in this relationship and I can just be myself.
Why are you not now? Are you?
Me? Oh, but in the
Yeah.
past, we all put on, a friend of mine used to say, don't forget for at least the first 6 months, you're only meeting the representative.
Yeah, that's so
But
funny.
I found with Steve from day one, I was like, take it or leave it. Like, this is who I am. Of course, I can be flexible, but there are certain fundamental things about me that are just not going to change.
Yeah,
And
I think with Sandy, she gives me courage to take the leaps of faith that I wouldn't have taken before. Like in business and in life, she is more like, yes, let's do it. And I'm like, why? Like I'm more careful and she's more like a daredevil. So she helps me take more risks in life and she trusts me and she believes in me. She's not controlling and she's not we're more like, I don't
We
know,
just chill. We like to
independent.
have fun. Yeah, we're having our independence
She
for
goes
sure.
and films and she does her thing and comes back a few months later and I'm doing my thing and we
Yeah.
trust each other and it's just great. We can be
okay,
ourselves.
Yeah.
here's the big question after Sandy being away. How hard is it to get used to not being able to sleep diagonally in the bed and have to share the remote
Well, we
again?
have a dog who takes her place. So
I'm not okay. That didn't come out quite right, but
yes,
I think we
I get her.
understand what you're
You're correct.
saying.
But yes,
A little bit.
I get to have my makeup all over the counters and I don't have to like worry about putting it away. I can watch my Kardashians.
So you put your makeup away.
Yeah,
That's your
whatever. You totally do. And I can watch my Kardashians, I can watch all my trash television shows and
Yeah.
not worry.
Okay,
I have
fair
to
enough.
say, yeah, what do you enjoy about them screaming at each other all
And I
the
lose a
time?
lot of weight when she leaves because I can get on a routine and
Yeah.
you know, when you're in love, you eat.
Pluses.
Yeah, yeah. I just love you,
I love
and
you too.
you guys get back to your. But yeah, it's
Yes.
great being married to
Good to
her.
see you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's been so 1 year newlywed, very exciting, but
Yep.
it's been 2 years since you wrote your book, Be the Calm or Be the Storm, which is very apt actually now that we're talking about relationships. And a lot has changed. For instance, you were single. You were a single girl adrift on the high seas when you wrote the book. Looking back, is there anything, and I know from writing books, I feel that way very often. There's something you wish you could change. Either the way, like, I know I look at my books and I'm like, not the right word choice, or that joke didn't land.
Some of my family members struggled, so I think I would let them proofread it.
Interesting. Would you let them edit it? Or would you cave is the
Proof
wrong word, to some of
No,
their
I would let them give me their
asks?
yes, I probably would. Yes, I would definitely cave.
Interesting, because 'cause you're not a cavey kinda person.
I would because they're my family and I don't wanna hurt their feelings. But
Wow,
sometimes, but the thing is I think the book really reaches people. Because sometimes when you see people on TV, you think they're perfect and they've had an easy life, and that's not the case. And
no,
I
and
love social media 'cause people could be raw and real and,
mhm,
before it's like, yeah, like I struggled as, you read the book and now
yeah,
here I am because I changed
right.
choices. It's all about choices.
It's all about choices. So, you've been in, I mean, all these things I never that you kinda know, but you don't realize it till you really start preparing for something. You have been in the maritime business for almost 40 years. I mean, do you remember the exact moment when you were like, "Arr, a sailor's life for me"? There had to be a pivotal, you're very aware. W Do you remember that exact moment?
I do. I was on a 67-foot Hatteras working for John Flynn, making my very first crossing to the Bahamas for the first time in my life. Like literally never really been crossing the Atlantic Ocean. And I thought to myself, this is a career. Oh my God. I'm on a boat. I see dolphins. This water's beautiful. I'm in the Bahamas. Like, all I got to do is clean it. You know what I mean? And drive it once in a while. Like, it was really cool. So to me, I was like, wow, I want to take this further. And I knew that he would invest in me because we had had that conversation and there was no turning back for me. It was all aboard. I am in. I want to, cross the Atlantic. I want to do great things. But I had no idea about the responsibility side, the weather, all of these things that come into place, the broken down engines, what happens in the middle of the sea, which those moments came later, thankfully, but big learning curve. But yes, that was a pivotal moment for me. My very first time
Yeah,
crossing over to the
when you're
crossing the
like,
Gulf Stream.
yeah, when you're like, "This is it," which is such a special moment to have.
Yeah.
But let's, get into the show. You are working with a lot of familiar faces, and there's so much to unpack, but you have a brand new boat that we have never seen before, the Bravado. Maybe a little on the nose for it being on Bravo. I'm just gonna point that out. But the Bravado, even you seem impressed by the boat. Tell
It's a
me.
nice boat. Yes. Yeah, it's a beautiful. It's a great boat, smaller, a lot smaller. We went from, I believe, Mystique to
Mhm,
Bravado, and Mystique was a very volume size vessel, right? So it was 180 feet, I think, or maybe a little over, but it was a full displacement. Bravado, full displacement, but smaller, I think 47 meters, whereas
which
Mystique was
is which is how many feet?
147 feet,
Ah,
147 feet, something like that. And so a lot smaller. So the crew had to figure out things. I believe we were storing some provisions in crew cabins. So that was interesting. And yeah, it was tight quarters, great boat, great sea boat, great builder. But yeah, it was great. I love the boat.
Well, that's important. It would be bad if you didn't. It would not be good, but so many familiar faces, which is so fun. Aesha, Max, Nathan, who within the first seconds of the show, we find out that Nathan and Gail, who were both deckhands in season 9, are expecting a child. Now, I need to know, did you know if Nathan knew? Because from the trailer, we know someone is pregnant, and in July, People Magazine knew it was Gail. See, so it's like, did you know that everyone knew that they were pregnant when they started? Did Nathan know? Like, where do we pick up in the series?
So, I did not know. I don't think when Nathan this season, no, they didn't know because she wasn't pregnant then, right? So,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So she wasn't pregnant, I don't think, in the beginning of the season. Because Nathan and Gail went their separate ways after our last season. So they left together, but they kind of like went their separate ways. And I thought I didn't think they were seeing each other when they started, which they were not technically still seeing each other on this season. They were not seeing each other because I asked Nathan, I go, "Hey, how are you and Gail?" And he goes, "No, it's off." They kind of went their separate ways.
And
So that's
then,
how this season's.
I mean, it is from the trailer, it is jam packed. So, Nathan's having a baby, but you also literally give him a big boost right off the bat and you make him your bosun. And you don't hand out titles like willy nilly, but right off the bat, he's faltering. Did you question your
Well,
decision?
not at all. Nathan's excellent at line handling. Nathan really knows how to handle a boat. Nathan's been at sea for many, many years. He knows what he's doing. Nathan's learning this season is to learn how to be a bosun, and that means given direction and trust. So when you take over a new leadership role, you have to learn to not try to do everything yourself, but give direction and trust that your team can do that and allow them to make their mistakes. I think Nathan's struggle is explaining how to do things. I think he's so in his head. He knows what's next, right? So he needs to learn to lay that plan out and give that direction and let go.
Because
That's
you
in my
you are clearly a natural communicator. Did he learn how to communicate or deep down in there, I mean, I don't think he's a natural communicator. How do you get that out of someone?
They have to rise to the occasion, right?
Right,
So I don't think you could force it out of someone. I think the pressure that you apply, I'm a pressure applier because I believe when you add pressure, it makes you better, right? To a
right.
point. So for me, I'm just going to keep applying the pressure, reinstating my expectations. This is what I need from you. This is how I would do it. Here's some examples. Now just go do it. So Nathan, yeah, I mean he struggles, but he gets through it. Like he's a good human being at his core. So and he's honest. Like I trust Nathan. I would want Nathan in my lifeboat. That's how I determine that.
Wow. That's
Then if this boat was sinking, Nathan would be the one leading everyone to the lifeboat because that's his quickness. Nathan's quick and he knows what's next. He just needs to learn to give that direction.
wow, that is a huge compliment, and you do not give those out those are earned. In compliments like
Yeah.
that are earned from you. Because now it's just starting, so, um, the exterior seemed to be struggling a little, where the
Yeah.
interior seems to actually really have their shit together very early. It's gotta be because of Aisha. I mean, at this point, and she's engaged. I mean, there is so much going on. And she cut her hair. Not that I'm shallow and notice everybody's hair, but let's be honest, I do. I mean, she has come
She's great.
so far. What kind of a leader have you seen her turn into? Because it's been a metamorphosis. I mean, it's really been a big difference.
Oh my gosh, Aesha, from our first season together where we were just talking about this, we were out to dinner and I would always say, "What's your highs and lows?" And she said, "I never gave compliments to the interior." From that moment forward, I thought I like her because she's honest. She's not afraid. And that's what it takes to lead a team. You can't be afraid and you have to be honest. And I liked her brutal honesty, but she didn't do it in a mean way. It was in a kind way because Aisha's kind. So having her come back on board, Aisha continued to work in the industry. She went to classes. She learned about wines and service. And so she came back to me well equipped. And she wanted to prove to me that she could do this job. And I love that. So I love her. I love her as a human being. We are in each other's lives for the rest of our lives, that's for sure. And I love her new hairstyle. It's great. And Aisha's so focused. She's a great leader. She's kind. She's great at explaining. She sets her expectation. And, she has her challenges. And when she needs help, she'll come to me for support. But other than that, I stay out of it.
I'm just going to pitch out the idea that you marry them on the boat, her and the fiance. I'm just pitching out the idea. That's all I'm going to do. Um, what advice would you give her about married life?
My advice would be keep communicating, no matter how painful it is. Like, and listen. Just for me, it's like listening. I got to pay more attention and listen. That I know because I'm just so busy in my mind. And Aisha's also a busy person because, when you're given this platform, it kind of takes your focus to refocus back on your person, takes a discipline, but it's also the love of the heart. And I love that and I'm grateful that Leah came from this world so she gets it. Scott didn't.
Right.
So Aisha's got it's going to be a little harder. And Aisha, she has a time she puts her phone down, and it's just for me, it's about the communication and taking that time and listening to what the person's saying to you, your person.
Well, speaking of listening, you have a number of catchphrases, sort of, and you say very often, as a captain, anyway. In all my years of experience, that's one of your favorites. As a captain, when you're giving instruction, but my personal favorite, and it talks about communication, stop speaking. Like, don't you wish
Same.
it in life you
Yes,
could just go up to people and go, stop speaking?
yes. Stop talking now.
Yes.
Absolutely, I do use that. And I always say when I say that, I'm getting angry. It's like when a dog barks, they're warning you.
Yeah.
That's my warning. Stop talking now.
It
Stop thinking.
yeah. Uh,
'Cause you're only getting worse. It's getting worse for you. It's getting worse for that person, and you're like, it's gonna be good for you if
yeah.
you could.
I
It,
always warn Steve and my son that as long as I'm yelling isn't the right word, I'm engaged. Once I go silent, it's not gonna end well for anyone in the room.
yeah,
That's my like, you wanna keep me engaged because what's coming next if I get quiet is not good. But how would you take it if someone
end
said
game.
yeah, if someone said to you, "Stop speaking." How would that go?
Well, if they were my superior and I was acting like an idiot, like, I would think maybe I should stop speaking now. I would actually take that on as a warning, going, okay, I heard you. I will stop talking now.
Yeah.
Like, because I get it. Like, if someone says that, then what I'm saying probably isn't a good thing. So
Mhm.
why don't I just stop talking?
I'm gonna give you one of my favorites, especially when I'm losing an argument. This is when I default to is, "You're stupid," because that really does stop people in their tracks. Even if you're wrong and you're losing, you just go, "You're stupid," and walk away. I'm telling you. You are gonna work this into the rotation.
I don't think I could do that, but I could do this. That was stupid.
Yeah.
I don't think I could call someone, but I could say that was a stupid move. My thing is, if I say now I'm fucking pissed, that's where I'm there. So
Mhm,
that's what I say. Now I'm fucking pissed.
mhm,
And I use that with Nathan.
mhm. But
Get your fucking shit together,
yeah.
right? So I start swearing,
Mhm,
and that's when I get mad. I start using foul language, and I
mhm.
don't really want to do that. And then I say to them, "You take my smile away. It really upsets me. It's not necessary. So let's try not to do that next time." Like this is much better to live like this than it is
Yeah,
to be now I'm this. Because why we have to go there? Just do your job.
right. Which, by the way, I
Yeah.
really love doing "you're stupid." It's really the default when you're losing an argument, not calling them stupid.
Yeah.
When you're losing an argument
Yes,
and you
exactly.
default
Yeah.
to "you're stupid," it at least catches them off guard and gives you a chance to think. I also often do the point to the door. Like, just
Yeah.
no, just yeah. Those
Yeah.
not that I
You tell you have kids.
yeah, not that I lose a lot of
'Cause you point to the
arguments.
door.
I'm just gonna say,
Yes.
my other favorite with Cooper used to be, "I suggest you think very carefully about the next thing that's about to come out of your mouth." That's a good one.
Yes, choose your words wisely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
yeah.
I think that with the crew, I always say, I had no idea when I say, come to the bridge, they think they're in trouble automatically. I'm like, why is come to the bridge mean you're in trouble? It's just where I am. It's a position of I really am always on the bridge. So
It's
I'm
your
not gonna
office.
Yes, exactly. So they're like, "Oh my God, what'd I do?" And you see all the crew's faces change when I go when they're around me. I go, Nathan to the bridge, right? And you see the eyes go like this. You're like, it's not a bad thing, unless it is. Why should I be concerned? Why are you looking like that? And then I start getting in my head, why are they freaked out that I just called Nathan to the bridge? Is there something I should know?
Right, what did they
That's
do that I don't know? By the way, I always feel like a little fear is not a bad thing. Keeps them sharp, you know,
keeps them sharp.
keeps them sharp,
Yes.
because you don't wanna start qualifying going, "Nathan to the bridge, don't worry about it, you're not in trouble." That loses a little something in the translation.
I don't say that. I don't say that.
No, but I'm saying when
I want him to walk with a purpose to the bridge.
yeah, because you can say, "Don't worry, take your time."
Yeah.
So it is so hard to believe that we first met you on the 2nd season in 2016.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. Time flies. It's just so weird. Great experience in my life. I wouldn't change it for anything. Definitely, I've evolved as a human being because I get to watch myself back. I've changed in a good way. I had to be less involved, like in more of a TV captain. And, Carrie's learning. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I watch that and I think, yep, we're all gonna learn. We all have to learn because when you're working on a super yacht and you're working for these people, um, you can't be learning on them.
No.
You do a lot of learning on people, which isn't normal. It's like walking into the Four Seasons and saying, they've never been in hospitality before. They've never made a bed. They're only going to make half of it because we only slept on half the bed. The chef's going to be new and trying to figure it out in the galley, and your service is going to be new. That's not the case. So I had to learn that I'm going to have a lot of green crew, and my expectation has changed. And I just want to have fun doing this and watch them grow and have fun. So yeah, I've changed.
What I also find, and which also I can't believe I've been watching the show since 2016. I mean, where has my life gone? That so much of my life revolves around what day is Below Deck on. So, I think that's
This
something
is great.
I know, but
Yes.
still it's, you know
You live your because you chartered in your life. You always chartered
Yes.
with your family. Like you've always done that. So you know how it is. And you're like, oh yeah, that wouldn't happen. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's what they do down below. Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
But
you're living you're still living it. Well, you still live it and have experienced
Yeah.
it. So it's really cool that you watch it like that and you're so
Well,
dedicated.
yeah, I some call it dedicated, some call it obsessed. It really
Obsessed.
depends.
Right.
And I've gotten Steve completely obsessed. Like,
Oh,
we're like,
great.
"Oh, it's below deck night." Like, it's a whole thing in Tuesday nights because we watch it on the streaming. Like, we're like, "Ooh, it's below deck." Like, our entire evening is built around this, and I
Yeah.
will own that that is not healthy, but it's something we do together. But what I find when I look at the world in general, I look at the 20-somethings that I would work with in 20 years ago had a very different attitude than the 20-somethings I work with now.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
there's a whole
1000%.
different level, and as I often say to my son when he's like, "Oh my god," at work, I'm like, "At least you don't come out of the world that we did when they can't throw things at you anymore." But as a
Yeah.
leader, what differences, I mean, there's extreme differences in the work ethic is the wrong word, but leading that kind of a group from 20,
They're not,
from 20 years ago.
I get it now. So, yeah. So, very different parenting, right? So
Mhm.
parenting, we were raised fear-based. So when Leah explained it to me, she wanted to raise her child without threatening her child, right? But I did see her shut her life down a few times, so she did threaten her in the
I
when
go
she
back
became a
to
teenager.
I go back to a little fear is a good thing.
Yes, there were some shutdowns of life, the phone taken away, but our parents, we had a very different generation
Mhm.
raising up to the generation that these kids are now. And yeah, very different, not as motivated. I will say though, Leah's daughter, Lauren is very motivated. She's unique in the sphere of that generation.
Mhm.
Very focused on work. She wanted to work since she was 15. The minute
Mhm.
she could make money, she was out there to do it. And 1000%, she worked for Trader Joe's for a while. She got a transfer to the plant section. She stayed 3 hours after to learn the plants. She wanted the knowledge of learning the plants. That does not exist.
No. No.
Right. Yeah, she's in a university now. She's at Boulder, CU Boulder. So now as a captain, I'm a sponge. I want information, information. I want to learn, learn, learn. That's not the case. People just want to have fun, do as much or as little as possible to earn their income and move on and go do whatever they want to do. Very different. I struggle with it. I don't know how to change that. I think it all starts at the home, in the house, and it's the parenting. I think parenting, you don't have to beat your kid or throw a stapler at them or something like that, but the discipline and the expectation needs to be there, in my opinion. And that was not the case. I knew when I came home from school, we had to feed our animals. We had a lot of land. It was a lot of work, and then we did our homework, and then we went to bed. So there was very little playtime.
But I think everybody, and it's an open conversation in society that it's so different now, and you working in close quarters with literally 2 generations, again, 20 years. I find that it's forced us to be better leaders because we do have more of a sense of sensitivity, but on the other hand, what you just said is it's do the bare minimum, and for a personality like yours, that is really difficult to watch.
Yeah, so and also pride. People get confused. There's false pride and there's pride in what you do, right? The false pride is where you just think you're great and um you are proud of something that really isn't yours. You know what I mean? That's that false pride, that sense of false pride. The pride is going, look what I just did. And knowing the feeling, and I always say this to the crew, if you give 1000% in that day, you know that you've given everything and it still isn't a success. It's a success because you have used every ounce of your being to make it a success. So that is the success. And that's something you can wake up and feel great about. Not everything's always going to turn out to be how you want it, but the effort that you put into it to make it great is the success. And that is the feeling that you get to walk away and feel pride. I just talked to the crew recently and said, when someone walks in a bridge, don't slouch. stand up. There's a presence. When someone that's your elder or your boss walks in and you got your feet up or you're leaning up against something, stand up. Give that respect because that is pride. That is saying that I am proud to be here. I am proud to be standing on this bridge with my captain. And when my captain walks in, I'm going to show the respect to that captain that they deserve because they worked so hard to get to that bridge. And then you're going to get the same respect from someone else because that's the pride. That is something you should feel proud about is how you act and behave and the amount of effort that you give something to make a difference in your career. And so I get to spend this time with these kids, and I know that I am making a difference in their life because we have these conversations when they're ready to hear it. Now, I don't go chase them down and have it. If they come to me and they start asking questions, I'm all in.
You know what? But that's what makes you a good leader. That's what makes you a great when you're motivated. Okay, so that's what makes you a great leader and a great motivational speaker. There has to be times that you walk out on that stage and see a huge auditorium filled with people that you go, "Oh my god, I can't believe this many people want to hear me." And, "Oh my god, I can't believe this many people want to hear me." You know? Have you've had to what was that moment like for you the first time you realized, "Wow, I am making a difference in a broad sense?"
So the fear part, I just want to speak to that. Like the, oh my God, I got sober. So I had to sit in front of a bunch of people and tell my story, right? So you're like, okay, that part, I don't really give a shit anymore because now I just tell the truth. And that's easy for me. I don't try to be someone I'm not. I just tell the truth. The other part is, um, I just, what was that question again? I
The
totally
question
forgot.
is, it's normal like you started with small lectures and then the engagements got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And for anyone, you're like, it's a double-edged sword. Oh my God, I'm so excited that this many people
Yeah,
want to hear me. But oh shit, oh my God, like
a lot
this
of
many
pressure.
people want to hear me.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure, and I always think if I can reach one, I've done a good job. I don't so I just tell the truth. A lot of people are obviously want to see me because of Bravo. I talk the show gives me good material to work with. What can I say? I
Yes,
should
it
put it up
does.
on YouTube and go, how would you handle that? You know what I mean? Especially to leaders. And I always point out what the crew look like, right? I love my go-tos motor yacht home stabilizers, what the crew went through. And this is when I say that's a team, right? Not one person complained, not one. And I always talk about that. When the crew are faced with all these challenges at sea, we're different. We're built differently. They do not complain, not at all. When you watch Motor Yacht Home, Google that Motor Yacht Home loses stabilizers. Watch that video and study it because not one of those crew member complained to me. Not one of them. Not one of them came up and got upset. Not one of them said, I can't do this. They just went back to work. They cleaned up the mess and they went back to service. They get it. And that, if that could happen in a corporation, that would be incredible. But that's not the case because you have so many different, yeah, they get to go home at night. We don't. And it's fascinating to me because we have so many different nationalities, personalities that just sometimes you go, is it oil and water or is it just a good fit? And that's the training. And that training makes a difference. So I always encourage people to just train. But yeah, I always wonder, I speak to a lot of big people, and my favorite one was Jersey Mike's. Like I had the
Really?
best, yeah, it was awesome. They were great. There were a lot of people, and they were young. They were young. They were so young, and I knew that I had to like. I knew I was there for a reason, and so it was epic. It was pretty cool.
Do you now get a permanent discount at Jersey Mike's? I don't mean to get shallow, but these
No,
are
I
the
don't.
things
I
that
didn't.
matter to
I'm sure I
me.
could. I'd probably get a free sandwich if I wanted one, but nah.
When do you think you're gonna hang it up?
I thought Leah asked me that question or somebody did. I go, I don't have any. I'm young. I'm, 60. I'm in it for another 10 for sure. You know what I mean? Leah's like, we gotta
I'm like,
travel.
retiring.
Yeah, we need money. So yeah.
Well, it is always such a joy to catch up with you. Below Deck Mediterranean Season 10 airs Mondays at 8 Eastern Pacific on Bravo and streams the next day on Peacock. Sandy, always fun.
Yes, thanks. I'll see you at BravoCon.
Yes.